So this is part 3 of the blog tutorial. So in this video we're going to cover the views. So in the previous videos we've covered the controllers, we've covered the routes, we've covered the model. In this part of the video we're going to control the views. So the views are the things that the user will see. It's almost like the HTML pages. So we're going to start by creating a new folder called posts, and we're going to do this in the resources folder. So I've not touched anything since the previous video. So if I find the resources folder, which is this one, I'm going to go to the views, and in the views here, I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to right click and click new folder, and I'm going to call it posts, POSTF. And inside here, because there's nothing in there at the moment, I'm going to create a new file called index.blade.php. So new file, index.blade.php. Yeah, just click enter on that. And then inside here, we've got a brand new file. So we've got quite a lot of code to write out here. So we're just going to get started and see how we get on. So this is going to be a little bit like HTML. So the first thing is we have X guest layout, that, and then we have X slot name, and we're going to set that name to be header, just like that, and then close that, and then we're going to have H2 class, and this is going to be, and we're going to set the font here. So we're going to do font. I'm going to have it semi-bold, and I'm going to have text be XL. I'm going to have it grey as well. So I was just thinking then about colour. So just have it grey. We're going to have it grey 800. So 800 there. Then we're going to have leading and set that to type. And then I'm going to close my speech marks, close my brace like that. And then in here, I'm going to do 2 curly braces, 2 underscores, then a normal brace, a single quotation, and say home. And that's going to be how that is displayed. So in navbar, you would have it in a navigation bar. In this case, this is how it's going to be displayed on the screen. Then we've closed our H2, we've closed our X slot. So then we're going to start down here again, and we're going to have a div, and we're going to set that to have a class. And I want that one to be called PY12. And then I'm going to close that. And then I'm going to have another div class. And I'm going to set this to have a max width, width, that one. And I'm going to have that as 7L. And then I'm going to have an MX auto and SMPF 6. And then let's have a length pixels of 8. Close my speech marks. Close my div. And I'm just looking, that's my only div. Right, so I'm going to have to close my next div, yeah. So make sure I close that div. We're still going to create a new div. So we've got another one now for the class of the background colour. So we're going to do another div inside. So it's going to be div. And then we're going to change the class. The div class equals bg. We're going to have the background as white. You can change it to whichever you want, but I'm just going to stick it to white for now. Then we're going to have an overflow, which we want to be hidden. And we want the shadow that is small, and we want it to be rounded. Full length. Yeah. Close that div off. And then we're going to do another one because we're going to do a div for the border. So we're going to do div class equals 6, and then we're going to have PG white, and we're going to have border B, and then we're going to have border A. I'm going to have that border grey as 200. And then I'm going to close my speech marks, close my div, and I'm happy with that. Then inside this div, we're going to have a ahref. So we're going to have a hyperlink. And we're going to set that ahref to be posts / create. And then we're going to have class equals, and we're going to set that to be btn and btn primary. And then we're going to have mb2. And then we're going to close the speech marks on there, and then we're going to close that on there, and we're going to type the word create, and that's how it's going to show to the, we'll do create post actually. Then we will close the A tag. That. Then we're going to have a break. We're going to have a line break, so we're going to do that. Yeah, like that. Then we're going to do the table class. So table class. So this is how we're going to show the posts once we've actually put them in. And we're going to have table, and make sure that it's bordered. So then we'll close that. Then we're going to have thread, yeah, no, sorry, table head. Table head, PR, PH. But let's just make this look a little bit prettier. That under the inside the TR, we're going to have a TH, and here we're going to have ID. That, and I'm going to close my TH like that. Then we're going to have another TH, and this we are going to have title. Close my TH like that. Then another one, and I'm going to have publish. And close my TH like that. I think I've forgotten to close it. Yeah, go. Then I'm going to have one more, or two more, sorry, TH, and then I'm going to do created app. And then I'm going to close my TH, the table head, that's just my headings. Then I'm going to have another one that sets the col span. So I'm going to say that the number of columns per each row is going to be 2. And we're going to have the word action. Okay. This is where we can do things like edit, update, things like that. So then I'm going to make sure that I've closed off my TR, which I have. I'm going to make sure that I've closed off my T head. And then just before we close off the table, I'm going to create the table body. That. And then in here, we're going to say that for each post as post, then we're going to have a TR. This is where we're creating the new post that has a table data that puts in the post that we've created. So post ID, close off TD there. And then we're going to have another one that's going to be this time dollar, find it, there we go, post, and we're going to have this one title. So this is where we're gathering all in. I'm going to close off my TD there. And then we're going to have one more, and this is where we're going to work out the date it was published. That's the word I needed. So TD, then we're going to do date like that, and then we're going to set the date to be year, month, and day. I'm going to close that off. And then we're going to put a comma, and we're going to have strtotime. So string to time, and we're going to set that to be the value of dollar post when it was published. Publish. I think I need 2 braces, yeah, 2 of those, yeah. And then we close off the thing. And then underneath that, we're going to have another one, and this is going to be the date created. So to make it easier on my life, I'm that, paste it, and then I'm going to keep date the same, string to time, and the only thing we're going to change is this published at, we're going to change it to created at. And then that's good. And then we're going to open another TD, another table data, and I actually forgot to close that one. But we'll close it now while we're here because otherwise I end up forgetting to close them. And in here, we're going to have some hyperlinks again. So we're going to have href equals, we're going to do posts. So I've got hiccups and we're going to comma it. And then this is the bit where I'm going to be a little bit lazy and I'm going to steal a bit like that. Post ID, and then I'm going to close off those speech marks. And then we're going to say that this belongs to a class that's linked to the BTN primary. And we want to close that off, but we want to assign that to the value of show. Close off that. Then I'm going to have another ahref, and I'm actually just going to steal this one and copy it, paste it in underneath, and ahref posts, that's the same, post ID is the same, class is the same, the only difference is we've got edit instead of show. And then I'm going to do the same thing, paste that underneath, and then this time we're going to actually, no, we're not going to paste it underneath. It's a little bit different. This one is form action equals, I was seeing if I could get away with not typing it. And I'm going to do that, dollar post P, close. And then I'm going to close off my speech marks, and the method here is going to be post. So we're going to have to tell it what to do, tell it to post. And then the class for that is going to be equal to d inline, sorry. Oh, I didn't want to do that. So d inline. Oh, because it's not I think I've just messed up my speech marks. Yeah. There we go. That's why it's gotten a bit funny. Close that. And then we're going to have, we're actually going to connect it to the database here. So we're going to do CSRF underscore field and then close those brackets, which we have done there. And then we're going to have the at method, which we're going to set to delete. And then we're going to have a button. So this is where we equals button class equals, and this is where we're going to have the delete button. So we're going to say BTN, BTN danger, and we're going to set this one to the type of submit. That, close off my speech marks, close off that, type the word delete, then close off button. And then all we have left now is to check where our endings are. So we've got a form, which is good. We've ended our TD, we've ended our TR. Just before we end the body, we need to end the for each, so we don't get an infinite loop. So we'll end the for each there. Then we do tbody, then we do table. Then we close a div, then we close another div, then we close another div. So I should be closing 4 divs, 1, 2, 3, 4, then I close my X layout. Now I've spelt that wrong, so I'm going to go back and spell that right. I'm going to spell it right up here, so layout. And then just to check that we're formatted correctly, I'm going to highlight my text and I'm going to right click and do format selection so that it will format my text for me. Now this is a tool that I've installed and I can't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but I will put it in the description so that you can see it. So now we're going to test it, and this is where usually everything goes wrong. So we're going to save it first, and then we're going to do something called actually, let me check if I've got my XAMPP running. Yes, I do. I am very quickly going to just stop it, and I'm going to close down my PHP my admin, and I'm going to open it up again to start, and I'm going to open up PHP my admin again, so it's just got a fresh refresh of it. So I've just opened it up fresh, Travel blog is there, nothing's really changed on that. So I'm going to put that back over here. And then I'm going to just minimize this, and I'm going to go PHP artisan serve. Now this is how we get it to actually run. So when it runs, it's telling me it's working. I'm going to click on this. That's telling us where we're going to go. And it's going to open up something that looks like that. So now all I'm going to do is do /home. Now, crossing everything, we've got some errors. Okay, what have we got? So what I'm going to do to fix this, because sometimes if you copy and paste your entire code, so if I copy and paste my whole code, it's going to go really dodgy in terms of, yeah, that didn't work how I wanted it to do, so I obviously didn't copy it. Right, let's see what's wrong. Copy and then paste it in. Sometimes it fixes the errors. So let's do the close on that and then do PHP artisan serve again. And trying the home thing. Right, so we've got the same syntax error. Let me just find where that's. So our syntax error is to do with this line. So they're expecting a curly brace or a dollar sign. Right, let's have a look and see where we've messed up, or I've messed up. So it's on the form action, that section. So let's find the form action, that one. Form action posts closed to post class. Right, so that looks fine. Is it the line above? So where exactly did they want their dollar sign? Not very helpful, is this telling me where to find things. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recopy in that line. So copy just that line. I'm just going to recopy it back in, save it, and I'm going to Control and C, PHP artisan serve. See if it changes anything. /home. Right, yes. So now it works. All I did was copy that form action line and repaste it. I didn't change anything, just sometimes refreshing it actually makes a difference. So this is what you created. So we've got the create post button, which we can click, but nothing, well, you've got to log in to start with, which I'll talk you through in a second. We've got the ID, the title, the published, created at. This looks a little bit dodgy in my opinion, like we should be able to edit it, but it's very simple and we're trying to just get started with Laravel, so eventually we will get to editing the blog. So we've created the home page, which is fine. Now we have to create a couple more pages. So we need to create the create blade. So if I go to register here, which is what we installed using Breeze. So we haven't created this, Breeze has created this for us. And if I just create Homer and we do homer@homer.com, password, I don't know, hello 1234567, hello 1234567, and press register. Password does not match because I think I put so now we're logged in. So if I go back to home on here, click create post, there's nothing there for it yet. So we haven't created that element. So we need to do that. So let's just thinking how many pages we've got left. Yeah. Right, this is already 20 minutes. I think I'm gonna do each page in a new video. So we've done the home page basically. Let me just get the create done. Might do the create and then we might create another video for the next one. Thinking out loud. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to stop it from running, pressing Control and C. And then I'm going to go to the blades where my post folder here. I'm going to right click, I just closed it. I'm going to right click, new file. This time I'm going to call it create.blade.php like that. And then I'm going to start creating. So we're going to do X app layout. And this is where we're going to actually create the place where the user can create a blog post. Slot name equals header. Oh, let's just make this look a bit prettier. We'll do a tab on that, go back a step on that, tab on that, and then so we'll close the X slot a little bit later. H2 class equals font, semi bold, text is going to be XL, text is going to be array, and 800. Then we're going to have leading height, like that. Then we're going to have do these two, and we're going to set it to be the create. So single braces, create post is going to be our title. And then we are going to close all of that stuff, which is automatically done. And then we're going to close our H2, and then we're going to close our X slot. So I'm going to do X slot there. Then we're going to create a div. Div class equals py, and I'm going to have this one by 12, just like that. And then I'm going to have div class equals max. So max W7 XL, like that. I had a little bit of a memory loss. X equals auto, and then SM EX. Yeah, we'll do it that way. 6, and then I'm going to do the length of that to be a px of. We'll do that one at 8 and see what happens. Close off my braces, close that off just like that, and then I've seemed to have closed 2 divs off, which is interesting. Put that down there, and then inside here, I need another one, the background colour. So a lot of this is actually the same. So I'm going to go to my index blade, and I'm going to copy. Just let me see where we copy up to. The border grey. I'm going to copy these 2 things. So I'm going to paste them each other like that. So we'll get the formatting correct like that, and then we'll close off some more divs. So which div does that belong to? That belongs to that one. So we'll close off some more. Close off another one. That should be 1, 2, 3. That's correct. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to say at if session. So at if session status, like that. Then we're going to do div class equals alert, and then we're going to have alert that says suck, and I can never spell this success like that. And we're going to do role equals alert, and then we're going to have a session. So we're going to have the session status in here like that. That's all closed off. Perfect. And then we're going to end the div, and then we're going to end the at end if like that. And then we're going to have a form. Yeah, so I'm gonna have form action equals post like that, and then we're gonna have the method as post, just like that. So then we're going to have the at CSRF, which connects it to the database. And then we're going to create a new form, and we're going to create that form. Actually, no, we're going to create a div here. Did I forget to close off? Okay. And we're going to have a new div here that is of the form group. Equals form group, like that. That. Perfect. And then we're going to have a label for, and we're going to set that to be post title. So this is going to be the title of the post. And then we'll close off that label. Then we're going to have another one, but this time it's going to be the input type. And this is going to be where the user can actually type in their name. Well, no, not name, sorry, we're going to do it as text. Type, I'm going to have text, and we're going to ask them to type in title of their blog. So title, and we're going to have the class as being equal to the form control, like that. And we're going to close that, and then we will close that div because we're happy with that. Just thinking, yeah, we're good. Then we're going to have another div. Uh, yeah, yeah, we're nearly done. Just thinking about like that a little bit. So we're going to have another div class, and we're going to set this one to be form group, like that. Oops, wrong bracket. Then we're going to have inside this one a label. So I'm going to actually copy this from here. So we're going to have a label, paste it in there, and we'll just we'll format it all at the end. Instead of it being post title, this time it's going to be publish at. And then we're going to have an input, but this time it's going to be date. And then we're going to have name equal to publish at. And we're going to set the class to be equal to form control. Then we'll close that off. Then we're going to have a close off that div even, so we're good for that div. And then underneath that, we're going to have a button. And this is going to be the submit. It's going to be submit. And we're going to have it clicked to the class of BTN, if I do brackets, but it must be speech marks, BTN primary. Yeah, and it's going to be have the word sub written in it. And then we're just going to close off that button. Now I'm just going to check. So we need to close off our div, our form. Then we should have one div, two div, three div, four div. So one div, two div, three div, four div, and we should have at that app. So that's all good. So I'm going to right click it and I'm going to format selection, and then we're going to save it. So this should allow the user to enter in information about the blog. So two more sections to cover, but I am going to leave the video at that point because it is 30 minutes. So there will be a part 4. So in part 3, we have created the view. We'll just very quickly test that this works. So I'm going to do PHP, saved it as well, artisan serve. It's running, so then I'm going to click on this, click on that. Then I'm going to find the page. So I'm going to go to home, like that, and I'm going to click on create post, and we've got it working. So we can create a post title, we can create a publish at, and we can submit it. So we've got that bit working so far. I do feel like I have missed out a section. So let me just double check, because I think think I've missed out the post body, yes. Let's very quickly just add in that post body. So I'm going to minimize this, I'm going to stop it running like that. So the post body I've missed out, which is just after the title. So post title, and then we've got the close div, and then we need to create another div, and I'm going to set it to be equal to form group again. Close that, close that. And this one, we're going to have a label. Oops, do this the correct way like that. We're going to have a label for equals, and this one's going to be post body. And then we're going to close off that label. And then underneath that, we're going to have text, same thing, text area. And we're going to have that name as being equal to body, body like that, ID equals like that, calls equals, the number of columns is going to be, let's do 30. And then we're going to have the number of rows, and we're going to have that equal. And then the class, it's going to be linked to the form group, oh sorry, form control. And then we're going to close it off, close it off, close off the text area. I'm going to save that. I'm going to do PHP eyes and save again. Press enter and click on this link. Open it up over here. And I'm going to do /home, which is fine. And I'm going to click create post. And now we can put in something like that. Choose today's date, click submit. Now, it has added it in for us, but none of these actually work. So show won't work, it'll bring us up to an error because we haven't actually created that yet. Edit won't work because we've not created that yet. And delete will work. So we've done, in this part 3 or 4, because I'm going to create another one, we've actually created the home page, which is this section here, and we've created the create post page, which is this section here. So in part 3, we are going to cover, I'll go back to dashboard, let's go back to home even. So in this, we're going to, the next video, we're going to actually create the delete, the edit, and, well, no, sorry, we've done the delete, the edit and the show pages so that we can actually get that bit running. So that's part 3. So part 4 will be coming in a second.